Starseek Conqueror, 10,000 times rewards, Frigate destroys stars. Episode 131, Brain-strong intelligent thinking. Qin Sheng's further strengthening, the 4th level treacherous demon, Tataros, used some means, successfully brought the Zergan civilization of the Magellanic Galaxy and the destroyer civilization of the Great Magellanic Galaxy to the Milky Way. This made Tatalos feel uneasy. These two civilizations are very powerful. Although it has not reached the level of civilization of the 5th level, the combat strength is basically at the level of quasi-level 5. It was far stronger than the average 4th level peak civilization. In subspace, Tatalos looked at the picture of the real universe that appeared in front of him. Two powerful space fleets of civilizations have set out for the galaxy. It made him happy. Great Qin Empire. Now it's up to you how to deal with it. A quasi-5th level force devourer insect clan, a quasi-5th level force destroyer civilization. Even if they can't beat you, it doesn't matter. As long as the galaxy is in chaos, the more chaotic the Milky Way, the more muddy the waters I can swim in. Sooner or later, the whole galaxy, it's mine. In the subspace, the crazy voice of Tatalos sounded. The bird pecked at the face, full of distorted looks, and the colorful feathers above the body looked very dim in the subspace. The neutron battle star of the Great Qin Empire last time caused him a lot of trauma. The flesh is destroyed, and the spirit is weakened with the destruction of the body. Now he is powerless to physically descend into the galaxy, but it is still okay to interfere with his thoughts and make some conspiracies and tricks. For Tatalos, the Zerg and destroyer civilizations were best able to defeat the Great Qin Empire. Taking 10,000 steps back, even if the Zerg clan and the destroyer civilization could not defeat the Great Qin Empire, once the Zerg clan's ability had taken root in the galaxy, then the galaxy will be in chaos. This is the best time for him to gather his strength and return to the real universe, to return to the galaxy. 3 years later, at this time, it was already the 10th year that Qin Sheng had entered the universe. The Great Qin Empire had already digested all the science and technology tree data of the entire Kikram civilization 2 years ago. Now, the Great Qin Empire's biogene technology, neurotechnology, material science technology, weapon technology, basic physics technology. It has jumped in and upgraded to the level of a 4th level mountain. With the technology of creating the 4th level peak civilization, Qin Sheng no longer needed to consume technical points to make it. Instead, it can be manufactured independently. Now, Qin Sheng's system had been once again evolved. What's new in the system? 10,000 times the increase, and can increase the number of civilization creations by 5 levels. The evolution of the amplification system will undoubtedly bring about a leap in the strength of the Great Qin Empire. But what made Qin Sheng feel sorry was that there was no real 5th level civilization as his opponent now. It allows him to obtain new level 5 civilization technology. In the past 3 years, the Great Qin Empire has mainly carried out 2 major tasks. First, it has gathered more than 100 million advanced jellyfish girl scientists to continue the research of strong intelligent thinking. Once the strong intelligent thinking study is truly perfected, it is completed. And after Qin Sheng gave all the tactical humanoids the relevant upgrades, then, the Great Qin Empire will enter the ranks of the 5th level primary civilization, be able to truly break away from the stage of the galaxy and turn to the larger and broader known universe of the Communist Army. But then, it will be more sinister. Although the 5th level civilization is very rare, a river system of 100,000 light years may not be able to produce one. However, consider the breadth of the entire observable universe. River systems like the Milky Way, the entire observable universe, hundreds of billions at least have. Then, how many higher civilizations above the 5th level civilization in the entire observable universe should be? Which is an intriguing question but obviously easy to see. Once it is out of the Milky Way, then the chance of encountering a real 5th level civilization will increase exponentially. Civilization name, Great Qin Empire. Civilization level, level 4 peak civilization. Civilizational race, tactical humanoid, Kikiram jellyfish maiden, tactical humanoid maiden, Saint Heli's elite maiden, ether dragon maiden, golden sparrow soul clan. Civilization territory, Western galactic Sagittarius cantilever, centered on the constellation of Narcissus, with a radius of 2,500 light-years around it. Total civilized population, 8,3716 million. Military strength, for neutron battle stars, 1 emperor battle star, 25 line star battle stars, and 1 or 2 million people of each level and model. This is the overall summary of the Great Qin Empire today. It can be said that the Great Qin Empire, which originally wandered in the galaxy and had no roots, had now transformed into a true 4th level peak civilization. Just when Qin Sheng was sitting on the chair in the central control room of the Emperor Battlestar, looking at the panel in front of him, Andaria's voice sounded in her ears. "Your Majesty, you are ready for surgery." Looking back, a frost girl with long black straight hair stood behind her. Qin Sheng bowed his head slightly. "Got it. Surgery. It is a strong, intelligent thinking surgery." After 2 years of continuous research, the surgery of strong intelligent thinking has finally been improved into a technology suitable for Qin Sheng to use by such a human being. Next, Qin Sheng would accept the strengthening of the brain. Strong intelligent thinking. Once Qin Sheng's brain is strongly intelligent, Then in a single thought, Qin Sheng will be able to quickly calculate the data of the elementary particles of the mass of the entire solar system. In conjunction with the increasing spiritual ability over the years, Qin Sheng can be said to be able to do it, not relying on external force technology, but only relying on his own spiritual strength and strong intelligent thinking. In an instant, disintegrate a planet. This was a unique ability of Qin Sheng. After all, in addition to the chaos forces, other technological civilizations in the universe could not master such powerful spiritual energy. Get up from your chair. Qin Sheng stretched his body. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, then open it. He was ready. Turn around and leave with Angelia. Soon, we arrived at the operating room. In the operating room, more than a dozen exquisite-looking, jade feet lightly pointed to the ground, floating in the air. Jellyfish girl biologist, scientists together to Qin Sheng slightly bowed to salute. See His Majesty the Emperor. Qin Sheng led the head slightly, and said, the quasibar began to operate on the opening. Episode 132. The Emperor's Protection. Powerful psychic energy. Lie down on the operating table. Closing his eyes, Qin Sheng let go of his thoughts. Let the nerve tentacles of the surrounding jellyfish maidens extend to his forehead. The surgery is about to begin. Qin Sheng's heart was not nervous, only composure. Over the past 2 years, this strong intelligent thinking surgery has been tested hundreds of millions of times on synthetic humans. Under the control of the speed of scientific research that has increased by 1,000 times, the probability of failure is 1 in tens of billions. Qin Sheng didn't need to worry about the failure of the operation at all. Each jellyfish girl's nerve horn tentacles have been specially modified to enter the microscopic universe perspective. The person who presided over the operation was Kiki Bell. Kiki Bell herself has been strengthened by the research of strong intelligent thinking technology. However, Kiki Bell's strong intelligent thinking enhancement was already carried out when she was still Chi-Chi Barium, and it is suitable for the special neural structure of the Chizorum jellyfish family. To transform this strong intelligent thinking technology into a human usable one, I don't know how much effort was wasted. If it weren't for the great Qin Empire enjoying the 1,000 times speed bonus of the galactic overlord, otherwise, thousands of years may not be completed. Not to mention that it's now completed in just 2 years. The strong intelligent thinking surgery began. Qin Sheng remained awake in this way, accepting that the neural hornworm had to go deep into the microscopic level of the universe and transform his brain in parallel. Strong intelligent thinking. Here I come. The surgery lasted for 3 full days. During this period, Qin Sheng's brain was equipped with a variety of microscopic calculator components, particle elements, strong intelligent calculation formulas, and so on. More than 3,000 microscopic grassroots particle surgery. These operations also strengthened Qin Sheng's brain from the fundamental particles. When Qin Sheng opened his eyes, a stream of light flashed through his eyes. The whole world still changed in Qin Sheng's eyes at this moment. These microscopic particle surgeries changed Qin Sheng's brain and his optic nerves. Qin Sheng stretched out his hands, and what he saw was not his hands, but the matter formed by the aggregation of countless billions of atoms. Neutrons, protons combined, make up the nucleus, which is infinitely smaller than an atom and is counted among the innumerable billions of atoms. This is the world of strong intelligent thinking. Qin Sheng took a deep breath and felt the shock. He could feel that he only needed to move his mind and mobilize his spiritual energy, and he could instantly calculate all the atomic permutations and combinations on his hand. In fact, Qin Sheng did the same. As soon as the mind moves, a spiritual energy comes out. Qin Sheng's right hand instantly disintegrated and scattered into a piece of atom. The next moment, Qin Sheng's brain was rapidly calculating, and in an instant, the arrangement and combination of countless billions of atoms on his right hand were recalculated. The spirit can move again. Countless billions of atoms reaggregated. Qin Sheng's right hand appeared again. Take another deep breath. Close your eyes. Strong intelligent thinking through special brains from a microscopic perspective. Qin Sheng could see around himself the atomic arrangement of the entire Emperor Battlestar combined internal structure, and the outer layer of strong interaction material bucket atom arrangement, all clear. No wonder for the 4th level peak civilization and the 5th level civilization, strong interaction force materials are nothing. Although strong, there are countless ways to make strong interaction materials obsolete. Qin Sheng really felt this perspective. Moreover, for the real 5th level civilization, there are also some 4th level Winfeng civilizations. It doesn't matter what the original ecological structure is, although they can't arbitrarily change their physical structure with a single thought like mine, but with the assistance of high-tech machinery and equipment, a similar effect can be achieved. Qin Sheng still closed his eyes and felt this feeling. This universe feels like it's in his hands. It's so wonderful. However, this strong interaction material that he had previously felt indestructible in his eyes seemed to be blowing in his hands at the moment, which also made Qin Sheng feel terrible. Above the 5-level civilization, the strong interaction force material has lagged behind. A new type of structural material had to be developed. Qin Sheng pondered slightly, and then came to a conclusion. He can build on existing strongly interacting molecularly regenerative materials. Elementary particles can be continuously regenerated, no matter how many times they are disrupted and decomposed. they can restore the strong interaction material as before. It can be regarded as a kind of transition in the material science of the Great Qin Empire now. Stronger, better materials must also be developed. And now, strong intelligent thinking technology. There are several templates. Now the tactical humanoid maidens in the Great Qin Empire, St. Heli elite maidens, and etheric dragon maidens all have templates. All can be arranged for strong intelligent thinking. Although the tactical humanoid maidens are all silicon-based creatures are not equal to pure robots. There are also brains, and they also need to use strong intelligent thinking technology to improve their hardware. Ding dong, the system prompts that you have completed your own life form transition. For you, the life form is already an atomic structure that doesn't matter, but you hold fast to your heart and throw it as a human being. I think, therefore I am. You unlock a new title, Emperor Asylum. Emperor Asylum, you have become a truly advanced life, and your life form has changed. But you still have your heart set on it, and you can distribute your increasingly powerful spiritual energy. All races under your motif have unlocked psionic energy to use. All races under your command use psionic energy through you, not subspace. And even if other races of non-tactical humanoid maidens use the psionic energy you spread, they will be protected by the effect of being called the Emperor. Avoid being invaded by subspace due to the use of psionic energy. Episode 133, Galaxy Edge, Zerg Invasion. Emperor God Sect. Okay, Qin Sheng sighed softly. Now, in addition to pure technological means, his race has one more means: the power of spiritual energy. For a long time, the use of spiritual power in the universe has been extremely risky. It will suffer from subspace pollution. So knowing this, those races in the universe that have their own psychic talents are not ultimately disciples of chaos. It is to abandon spiritual energy autonomously and instead use the power of science and technology mainly. And now, not only tactical humanoids, as long as they are attached to and subject to the race of the Great Qin Empire, they can get the protection of the Emperor. Psychic energy can be used safely, thus not worrying about being polluted by subspace chaos. Moreover, the Emperor's protection allows people who originally have no psychic talent to use psionic energy through the Emperor as a medium. In this state, Qin Sheng's status as Emperor was somewhat similar to the gods mentioned in those religions. Now, thanks to this effect, Qin Sheng could begin to promote the use of spiritual energy in the Great Qin Empire. After all, the tactical humanoid maidens are silicon-based creatures that were initially unable to use psionic energy, but now they can. With the blessing of spiritual energy, the basic unit of the Great Qin Empire and the drilling ability of the tactical humanoid gate will be even higher. The edge of the Milky Way. The pitch-black space of the universe is backed by the incomparably dazzling Milky Way. A fleet is sailing. The curvature shines brightly. This fleet is not small, with a total of 120,000 search ships. Each battleship is similar in shape to a cylinder and is very plain. But above these cylinders, there are countless gun barrels and turrets. Very deterrent. The surface of the battleship also has a special black livery, which seems to be able to blend more with the space height of the black sound. Above the battleships, a special virtual flag is flying. It is a capital Qin character. Your Honor, we are finally going to reach the galaxy ahead. It will be in 2 days. 10 kilometers in diameter, the largest flagship bridge, a technician in a black bag is reporting to the person who is looking at the red robe. It's finally coming, 6 years of sailing, and finally crossing the distance of 20 light years. The Cardinal Archbishop exhaled and nodded. Keep sailing and get to the galaxy ahead as soon as possible. My mission is to spread the glory of the Emperor to all corners of the galaxy, and this is our first stop. As soon as this sentence came out, then the identity of this leather fleet was about to come out. It is a squadron of the human force, the Emperor Divine Sect. The Emperor Cult is an organization formed by human beings to revere and believe in the Emperor. Since the Emperor Cult was spontaneously created by human players 10 years ago, it has flourished among players throughout the galaxy in recent years. More and more players are joining the Emperor Cult system. Even here, on the edge of the galaxy, there are quite a few players who have joined the Emperor Cult. This fleet was created by a branch of the Emperor Cult at the edge of the galaxy, at the edge of the Milky Way, because it is far from the center of the Milky Way. Galaxies and planets here are also very rare. The environment is very harsh. There are also many inhumanoid, unintelligent, murderous space alien races that attack human forces. In this case, the humans here joined the Emperor God Sect with hope and loyalty, began to spontaneously spread the glory of the Emperor to the surroundings. The mission of this fleet is to travel to a galaxy 20 light-years away to investigate whether there is a space alien and take root here. At this moment, after 6 years of sailing, it is finally about to arrive. In the galaxy ahead, a void fluttered. Under the space distortion, a portal opened. Countless huge, vicious, and terrifying, the smallest of which was more than 10 kilometers long, huge monsters flew out of the space portal. Is this the Milky Way? It's finally here. look for the planet of life, spread out the fungus blanket, build the outpost. A bloated, brainworm like a brain is rooted in a leviathan and gives orders. This is the Zerg tribe's former Sharpvet-10 fleet. At least 2,000 gigantic leviathans are scattered throughout space. Start moving forward. At this time, the fleet of the Emperor Divine Sect also entered this galaxy. Brainworms discovered this fleet at the first time. However, the fleet of the Emperor Divine Sect was not aware of the existence of the Zerg clan. The brainworm was instantly alert. Our actions were discovered by galactic civilizations? But then, brainworms discovered that this was just a fleet of second-level civilizations. The brainworm was a little excited. Haha, it turned out to be just the indigenous fleet here. It just so happens that I am a little hungry. This is the nutrient sent to the door. He immediately ordered the 3 leviathans to go and destroy the fleet, capture all the creatures above, and turn them into nutrients to feed it. 3 leviathans waved their 100-kilometer-long horn tentacles. Each swing will cause a wave of space fluctuations, and the resulting space force will drive their huge bodies forward. In a short time, it spanned half of the planetary system and approached the fleet of the Emperor Divine Sect. Leviathan does not hide its existence. But even so, when the distance between the two sides was less than 100,000 kilometers, the fleet of the Emperor Divine Sect barely discovered their existence. It's a space alien monster. It's less than 100,000 kilometers away from us. What? How could I have found them so close? Battle. 3 massive leviathan abdominal cavities opened and countless jumping insects were released. Densely packed, it seems to be like a storm blowing in the vast space, and the number is incomparably large. In an instant, spanning a distance of 100,000 kilometers, the 120,000 Emperor Divine Sect warships had no time to launch any attack. That is, they were instantly covered by these countless space-jumping insects. The alloy deck of the battleship was easily torn open, chewed, and swallowed by the mouthparts of the jumping insect. The seemingly sturdy battleship was instantly filled with countless more passages. These jumping insects rushed directly from space into the battleship. They're invading. The deck of the battleship can't stop them at all. Don't be afraid, soldiers, fight. For the Emperor. Fight to the death. The human soldiers inside the battleship began to fight with these space-jumping insects that rushed in. But the gap between the two sides was too big. The weapons of the Emperor Divine Sect soldiers were basic electromagnetic rifles, and the bullets fired were completely blocked by the carapace of the jumping insect, and even left no scratches. Those incomparably sharp forelimbs of the jumping insects could easily cut through the power armor of the Emperor God Sect soldiers. Episode 134. The Worm Clan surrounds us? It's us who surround the Zerg clan. Snap, snap, snap. Fierce gunfire rang out inside the battleship, and countless bullets, single-man anti-armor weapons, slammed into the jumping insects. These weapons hit as many as possible in the small battleship's internal passages, but the jumping insects that rushed and charged forward with great ease against these attacks. It seems that no weapon can inflict even a little damage on them, not even a scratch left. With a sharp swing of the left and right forelimbs, in an instant, for Emperor Divine Sect soldiers dressed in power armor were directly cut apart with armor. Lots of blood, viscera. The Zerg jumping worm was bathed in blood and let out an incomparably pleasant roar. They're too strong. Even if it is a 3rd-level civilization, it is not so strong. Level 4. Could it be a 4th-level space alien creature? Bishop, what shall we do now? Do you want to go back? No, we can't retreat, and if we retreat, we'll bring back these monsters that have already entered our battleship. The Cardinal Bishop of the Emperor Divine Sect was a human player, and he glanced at the galactic player's power leaderboard. First prize, Great Qin Empire, 4th-level peak civilization. This is the edge of the galaxy, too far away. Even if you ask the Emperor for help, it will not help. Self-detonation. What? Order all the battleships to start the overload of the curvature engine and explode themselves. Brothers, now is the time for us to be loyal. You can't leave any data from the battleship to these monsters, or they'll know most of the human coordinates. Explode. Fight to the death, and the soul returns to the throne. Just as the Cardinal was dying, a sudden prompt rang out. Not only did he hear it, but at this moment, all the people of the Emperor Divine Sect in the galaxy heard this voice. Ding dong, you have received a bonus buff, the Emperor's patronage. You have awakened your psychic powers. Psychic energy can be used. You have established a telepathic communication with the Emperor across the galaxy. Pray to the Emperor through psychic communication. The Cardinal's eyes widened. Zerg Leviathan Vanguard Fleet. The brainworm paid no attention to the 3 Leviathans that attacked the Emperor's Divine Sect fleet. In its view, it is only a 2nd-level civilization of the galactic natives. The dispatch of 3 Leviathans, or because this brainworm is more cautious, does not want to let go of even one battleship. Otherwise, there is no need to use the Leviathan at all, and some insect robes that can grow on their own can be randomly launched to destroy the opposite side. Can the fleet of the 2nd-level civilization of the galactic natives still turn the sky upside down? However, at this moment, an inexplicable sense of crisis suddenly appeared in its brain. What? The Zerg brainworm was astonished, hurriedly looked in the direction of the 3 Leviathans, only to see that over there, I don't know when there were 3 more completely strange battleships in space. These warships are different from the warships of the Emperor God Sect, and from the appearance, they give people an incomparably dangerous and frightening feeling. As soon as the three battleships appeared, several fast spears of light instantly pierced through the bodies of the three Leviathans. In space, all three Leviathans emitted a scream of the special electromagnetic band that the Zerg could hear later. Subsequently, the three Leviathans were penetrated by a huge wound, and the extremely high temperature began to spread and burn. The three Leviathans never moved again, and the horned worms, hundreds of kilometers long, waved wine in space, silent, dead. Is it a higher civilization native to the galaxy? How could they come so fast? The brainworm was shocked, but looking at it again, it seems that the high civilization warships that have come are only 3. Brainworm thinking is to become active. There are not many of them, but is it just that the fleet patrolling nearby happens to receive a distress signal, which can be done so quickly? At this thought, the brainworm's thoughts were suddenly full of slaughter. You can't let go of these 3 high civilization warships. Immediately issue an order to mobilize all Leviathans. Exactly 2,000 giant Leviathans began to act. Press forward. It seemed that it was to completely surround these 3 battleships of the high civilization of the galaxy, so that they would not have the slightest possibility of escape. And the Zerg have no tactics to speak of. The tactic they are most proficient in is the worm sea tactic. No matter what tactics you use, I only use more worm seas that you don't know how many times to crush them. The other side only has 3 battleships. They are all advanced civilizations, and the number of my insect race is endless. Who is afraid of whom? These 3 great Qin Empire warships were indeed a fleet battle group patrolling nearby. After the people of the Emperor Divine Sect established a spiritual communication with them, they instantly activated the Stellar System Migration Engine and directly migrated to the battlefield. The leader of this fleet battle group is a Kikiram jellyfish maiden, named Kiki-An. Kiki-An had already discovered the plan of the Zerg clan on the other side to surround them at the first moment. But now their own troops are insufficient, and the insect clan is not a loss of the insect clan. Waving wine, space-jumping insects, thorn snakes, flying dragons, all over the space, released. It really looks like it's endless. Even with the strong firepower of the Great Qin battleship, it was even a bit impossible to fight for a while. But Kikian did not give the slightest order to the fleet to retreat. The Cardinal was in a bit of a hurry at this time. The crisis on his side had been resolved, because the insect jumpers who had invaded their battleship had all withdrawn and gone into space to attack the Great Qin battleship. God has made your lord, and the enemy is so powerful that you should retreat as fast as you want. It's not worth putting you under siege to save us, the Cardinal said anxiously. No. Kiki shook her head and said, it looks like they're going to surround us. Actually, it's us who want to surround them. As soon as these words came out, the Hongyi Zhuang sect was stunned. In the space, those who gradually began to surround the 3 great Qin empires, more than 2,000 Leviathans, wielding wine around the countless insectoid units throughout the space. Space in hundreds of places began to distort. The space passage with a blue luster opens. Streams of light flew out of the space passage, densely packed, tens of thousands of places. Every stream of light was a Great Qin battleship in. A fleet group army, a total of 100,000 Great Qin warship space moved in. It's in space in all directions. In turn, these insect races are completely surrounded. Episode 135. You can only transform into our nourishment. Seeing this formation, the brainworm was immediately blinded. The enemy has more battleships than its Leviathan? Seeing that his Leviathan fleet was about to be surrounded by the other side, the situation was reversed in 2 stages. Brainworms think fast and begin to think about countermeasures. In a situation like this, you can't play your cards according to common sense. Although the number of warships on the other side is more than that of my Zerg clan, it is only that. Dare to fight with my insect clan for the number of people? I don't know what your civilized brain thinks. Moreover, what my insect clan is good at is not only quantity. The brainworm gave the order directly. In an instant, more than 2,000 Leviathans were released more rapidly, as if the endless basic units of the insect race had entered space. Leviathan has a specialized genital cavity inside, and all the nutrients carried by the Mad King flow into the genital cavity. Countless insect eggs were broken, and the cubs of the insect clan broke out of the cocoon, and then expanded and grew in a few seconds, growing into a space jumper with a height of 3 meters and a red hard alloy carbine. Among this batch of space jumping insects, there is a batch of space jumping insects that are particularly different from other jumping insects are pure red hard alloy carapaces, and this batch of jumping insects has green spots. The sharp forelimbs also glowed dark green, and under the mouthparts was a sac that could spray leaf green gas. Ha 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 ha, no matter what race you are, as long as you are a carbon-based creature, then once you are hit by this toxin that specifically targets carbon-based organisms, you will die instantly. We can only obediently transform into our nutrients. This is the brainworm strategy. Use the endless sea of worms to charge at the warships of the Great Qin Empire, while mixing some poisonous insects among the battleships. As long as these poisonous insects can successfully enter the battleship, even one, then, the toxin spread, enough to kill all the creatures on the battleship. To ensure that the dose was large enough, the brainworm added a dose of toxins to an entire city, tens of millions of people, to a single poison worm. Every cell in these poisonous insects, at the microscopic level, contains these toxins. As long as you successfully enter the enemy warship, you can release it instantly. In the middle of space, an incomparably wide battlefield, 100,000 Great Qin Empire warships surrounded more than 2,000 Leviathans. And these 2,000 Leviathans have been releasing insect units for a while from the beginning, and I am afraid that a steady stream of production and incubation has released a number of more than 10 trillion basic insect units. Densely packed, more than 10 trillion units of insect race swept through space, as if it were a real cosmic storm. This is the Zerg clan? While we were finishing the encirclement, we were able to build and release so many bugs incredibly quickly. It's very productive. The commander of the Great Qin Imperial Fleet Group Army, Chi Payer, was suspended in the bridge, and WeChat led the way. But it's just a ragtag bunch. With a wave of her hand, Kiki gave the order. All the battleships, the fast light spear is ready. First destroy those biological warships. The near anti-light spear is adjusted to a fixed-point rapid-fire mode. Antimatter missile preparation. Silicon-based conversion bomb preparation. A series of quick orders are issued. All warships are in a mode of adjusting their weapons at the same time. Hundreds of close-in spear launchers turned on targeted rapid fire. At the same time, the main gun of the battleship, the Laplace Heavy Fast Sun Light Spear, locked the more than 2,000 Leviathan biological warships for the first time. The light emitted by the crimson hot melt characteristics of the fast child light spear instantly illuminated the space. It was as if tens of thousands of Laplace Tacheron spears of light appeared horizontally that could penetrate the entire universe. Along the way, countless basic units of insect races such as jumping insects, thorny snakes, and flying dragons were instantly evaporated. Each of the more than 2,000 Leviathan warships would be hit by at least 10 large fast spears of light. Melt, penetrate, evaporate. The Leviathan biological battleship itself was equipped with a special force field generator shield that could not block these spears of light at all. In an instant, all Leviathans in space emitted electromagnetic waves of specific band frequencies, and the flesh and blood melted in an instant, died in space. This horrible sight made the brainworm feel cold. Fortunately, I have long since left the Leviathan in the form of a disguised flying dragon and hidden in the vast space. I didn't expect the other side's light spear to be so terrifying, but the other side would not be able to find me for a while and a half. Otherwise I would have died with the Koligi Weitans just after the wave of attacks. Brainworm thought with a throbbing heart, and his heart was calm again, although there was no Leviathan, but there were at least 10 trillion basic units of the insect clan scattered throughout the space. Enough to let it command. The brainworms turned the remaining 10 trillion insect clans into 100,000 regiments, corresponding to the 100,000 warships of the Great Qin Empire Fleet Group Army. Every battleship has hundreds of millions of insectoids to attack. Within every 100 million insect races, more than 100 jumping insects carrying charcoal-based toxins were hidden. It can be said that these poisonous jumping insects are the real attackers, and the huge swarm of 10 trillion insects is all just a foil for sacrifice. Even if it is all dead, as long as the poisonous jumping insect can successfully rush into the opponent's battleship, then even if they win, a grand battle began. Dense swarms of insects communicate with each other through a special biological electromagnetic wave, whistling throughout space. Sweeping in, it launched a surprise attack on every battleship that searched the Great Qin Empire. The various weapons equipped above the battleships of the Great Qin Empire opened fire in an instant. The near anti-light spear launcher is in a rapid fixed-point firing mode, like a machine gun, shooting rapidly and non-stop. Countless spear rays of light penetrated the entire dark space. Extremely accurate removal of one bug after another. A body that twisted hundreds of meters long and swam in space was constantly spewing proton decomposition rays at the Great Qin Empire battleship, but all of them were blocked by the battleship's Sky Curtain space distortion force field. Under the space distortion, the proton decomposition rays spewed by these stinging snakes were even deflected, instantly cleaning up hundreds of jumping insects. An antimatter missile dragged an incomparably dazzling light and plunged headlong into a dense swarm of insects. The positive and negative materials collided and disappeared, and the huge pure energy produced in an instant was widely dispersed. More than 100,000 insect races instantly disappeared into space. The Zerg formation looks incomparably dense and numerous, but this is placed on the battlefield spanning billions, tens of billions of kilometers of space battlefield. From a macroscopic point of view, the Zerg formation is dense, but a closer look will find that every jump between the returners is not small to see. Episode 136. This matter the insect clan feels very evil. Go and catch the brainworm alive. Brainworms practice segmentation tactics. The intention was to encircle and divide every Great Qin Empire warship with a huge number of its own insect clan, forming a situation where hundreds of millions of insects surrounded a battleship and fought one more battle. What the brainworm did not expect at all was that it had just issued an order and had just given a command. The battle has only just begun. It's far from intense. on top of a battleship of the Great Qin Empire. A very special missile was loaded into a missile silo. Silicon-based transforming projectile, target Zerg swarm, launch. At the order of the battleship's jellyfish maiden Captain Kiki, and this silicon-based transformation bomb was instantly detached from the missile silo. In the middle of space, there is an incomparably dazzling light, and from a distance, it looks like a makeup grain. Subsequently, the super-powerful curvature propulsion engine began to advance. The speed of the light particles is an incomparably terrifying speed of 500 times the speed of light. Almost instantaneously, it disappeared into place, and then in an instant, it appeared in the dense insect swarm of the enemy. What kind of weapon is that? Antimatter missiles? The brainworm hidden in the depths of space only felt a shock in his heart. It was completely impossible to see what weapon the other side was using. But come to think of it, this kind of weapon propelled by an ultra-high-speed curvature engine should be an antimatter missile. After all, only weapons such as antimatter missiles are worth using such ultra-high-speed curvature engines. If it's just an antimatter missile, you don't need to care. If only an antimatter missile is enough, can it still turn the sky upside down? Just when the brainworm was thinking like this, in the distance, the azure light flashed by, and the light waves began to spread in space, then spread and spread, forming a blue ring with a diameter of 1.2 million kilometers, and then disappeared. Suddenly it shook inside. I was shocked, unbelievable, and the incredible feeling appeared in its heart. Just now, it lost control of a swarm of insects. Losing the control of a swarm of insects is not worth mentioning in itself. After all, it is nothing if a swarm dies clean, it has countless swarms. But here's the thing that makes it afraid. It could clearly feel that the swarms of worms that had lost contact were still alive, but they all completely lost control of themselves, aimlessly wandering through space. What's going on? The swarm is out of control. There are more advanced insect brainworms coming. No, it's impossible. I'm the only one in the advanced team, and I don't feel any other biological fluctuations in the brain. What's going on? The brainworm felt an incomparable fear from the depths of his heart. This fear made it fall to absolute zero, cold and instantly frozen. The times wyvern. Go and find out what's going on. The brainworm took over the control of a flying dragon and personally controlled a flying dragon to investigate. It doesn't matter. Seeing what had happened, the brainworm felt a deeper fear, only to see that in space, the tens of millions of jumping insects, stinging snakes, flying dragons, etc. have completely lost the appearance of living creatures. Just like the exact same mechanical bugs made by the assembly line of the machinery factory, the mechanical and electronic compound eyes with scarlet light are wandering aimlessly in the starry sky. The moment the dragon appeared, these mechanical bugs suddenly went crazy and rushed up to it. A mechanical snake spewed out proton decomposition rays. In an instant, it melted and disintegrated one of the wings of the flying dragon. Hundreds of mechanical wyverns spewed out molecular hot melt acid spilled on the body of the probe wyvern. In an instant, the probe dragon held bitterly and turned into thick water. The brainworm was filled with fear and shock. What the hell is going on here? In this matter, among the 100,000 Great Qin Empire warships, a special Taki signal was transmitted. The tens of millions of mechanical insectoid electronic compound eyes flashed scarlet light at the same time. Attack! An order was given. Tens of millions of mechanical insect clans began to rush to another wave of insect swarms not far away, launching a crazy attack that even the insect clans themselves felt fearful. Silicon-based conversion bomb ready to fire. Launch. This time, tens of thousands of Great Qin Empire warships fired silicon-based transformation bombs at the same time. Tens of thousands of light particles instantly appeared in a dense swarm of insects with a group. The azure silicon-based conversion light waves began to diffuse. The morphological structure of countless insects that were swept by light waves changed in an instant. Carbon-based organisms from swarm hive consciousness structures are transformed into individual unconscious silicon-based organisms. One by one, the insects turned into mechanical insects. Straight after, under the command of the special Takalon signal fired on the battleships of the Great Qin Empire, start frantically attacking the still normal Zerg race. In an instant, the whole battle changed. From the beginning of the battle between the Great Qin battleship and the Zerg clan, it became the killing of the mechanical bug clan and the ordinary bug clan. The brainworm was already overwhelmed, and it had lost half of its control of the worm clan at the moment. You can only watch the bugs that have been transformed into the mechanical bug clan and the protozoal clan it controls. It has lived for thousands of years. In the short experience of these years, it's never seen this before. It has always been their insect race that devours and controls other races. When have you ever seen the Zerg clan controlled by someone else? This situation makes the brainworm completely rocky and overwhelmed. Right here, the commander of the Great Qin Imperial Fleet Group Army, among the flagships of Chi-Chi'er. Commander, we searched for the biological signal that spread to the mechanical insect clan, and we have cracked the other side's summons signal. Following the signal, we found the source. We have successfully locked the direction of the enemy command. It has been determined that it is a worm brainworm. Good location and nice staff. Kiki Payer was very happy, and the white jade foot lightly clicked and fell from the air, send a commando team, let the newly controlled mechanical insect clan use as cover to catch that insect brainworm alive. Yes, a commando team composed of jellyfish girl warriors immediately set off on the assault ship mechanical bugger as cover, and her door was very smooth to calculate the bug brainworm and Episode 137, Great Qin adds powerful combat strength. Mechanical buggers. At least half, 5 trillion insect families were converted into mechanical insectoids by silicon-based transformation bombs. The Great Qin Empire can manipulate these transformed mechanical insectoids by firing a special faster-than-light tackle-on communication signal. This is the use of a newly developed silicon-based conversion bomb in the past 3 years. It can be directly used to attack enemy battleship units, and within the range of silicon-based transformation bombs, all carbon-based creatures will be transformed into silicon-based mechanical creatures controlled by the Great Qin Empire. Thus they began to kill each other. To be honest, this method, in the face of the insect race, is not generally easy to use. That's a great use. Thanks to the sheer number of Zerg clans, only a small fraction of them need to be converted into mechanical bug clans. The effect on the battlefield was extraordinary. For example, right now, at least 5 trillion mechanical insectoids are frantically attacking no less than their native insectoids. In the vast expanse of space, the collision of machinery and special flesh and blood swept up like a storm. Under such cover, a Qin army assault ship began to break through the dark space. The jellyfish maidens on the assault ship easily locked in. It was a group of insects hiding in a group of jumping insects, shrinking their bodies and changing their appearance, looking no different from ordinary jumping insects. Brainworms. At this moment, the brainworm did not notice at all, and the assault ship of the Qin army had approached. Brainworms are racking their brains in a frenzy, sending control signals, trying to regain control of the 5 trillion mechanical insects. Stop this cannibalism, but to no avail. Find the target. Good. Launch the space warp force field generator. The dark hull of the Qin assault ship completely merged with the dark space, and the distorted space around it covered the battleship. If you only use optical detection, you will not be able to see a battleship here. In the darkness of space, a special shell was fired. In an instant, I came to the vicinity of the brainworm. This brainworm finally noticed this, but it didn't care too much, thinking it was just a stray bullet that floated to its side and was not fast. The next moment, however, the stray bullet suddenly flashed a burst of blue light, instantly wrapped up the brainworm. The space around the twisted brainworm forms a constantly distorting force field barrier. This is the space cage technology transformed from the Sky Curtain space warp force field shield technology. It is a quasi-fifth level civilization space technology. To some extent, the space distortion force field shield technology developed by the 4th level civilization is a very important and relatively simple front-end technology of the 5th level civilization. Not good. It's a space cage. Come and save me. In an instant, the brainworm was trapped in the cage of space distortion. It was frantically sending signals outward. However, the space around it was distorted. Any signal sent outward will be refracted back by the distorted inner wall of space, and then in this space cage, the distorted inner wall of space in all directions will be frantically refracted and rebounded between the distorted inner walls of space. It's like an echo. Imagine how annoying it would be for you to just roar a loud noise, but the huge echo was frantically around you, and your ears were bouncing back and forth. The brainworm was troubled and even began to hit the distorted inner wall of space, but to no avail. The capture is complete. Start recycling. At the moment when the brainworm was captured by the space cage, the nearly 5 trillion protozoites that were still left in the outside world suddenly stopped moving. As if dead, he lay motionless in space, moving slowly. Losing control of the brainworms, these protozoans have also entered a state of shutdown and dormancy. At this time, the commander of the fleet, Qin, sent a control signal to stop the mechanical insectoids who wanted to continue to kill. Instead, a wave of silicon-based transformers was fired again, transforming the remaining protozoites, who had no resistance, into mechanical bugs. But it didn't completely convert it. Instead, a part of the protozoan family was left behind, which was captured for biological research. After successfully capturing this brainworm, Qin was obviously in a very good mood. The natural noise of the silver bell gently hummed and sang, and the jade foot suspended in the air gently shook. The emperor is on top, and now the Great Qin Empire is going to have some more useful combat strength. The Zerg are of course very useful. That is incomparably outstanding, even faster than the factory assembly line production of reproduction capacity, can produce a large number of basic drill units. After the Great Qin Empire conducted research, it believed that there would be a huge amount of cannon fodder available. The advance fleet of the Zerg clan was easily solved by the Great Qin Empire. Qin communicated with the distant Imperial Divine Sect fleet on the other side that had already withdrawn. Subsequently, Qin initiated a short remote exchange with Qin Sheng. After obtaining the Emperor's permission, Qin handed over 100 million machine ring insect clan to the people of the Emperor Drought Divine Sect. And this 100 million mechanical insects have set up procedures to protect humans. It's just a program to protect humans. The control methods of these mechanical insect clans were not handed over to the Emperor Divine Sect. The Emperor Divine Sect is not highly civilized in science and technology now. and if they are given the control method, they will be in trouble if they are obtained by outsiders. After all, these mechanical insect clans had not really joined the battle sequence of the Great Qin Empire and could not enjoy the Emperor meme. However, as long as these mechanical insect clans really join the battle sequence of the Great Qin Empire and enjoy the Emperor meme, the internal program of loyalty to the Great Qin Empire will be locked down, which is based on the underlying logic of the Emperor meme of Qin Sheng. Even if the 6th level civilization came, it could not be cracked. The reason why the 100 million mechanical insect clan was handed over to the Emperor Divine Sect, in addition to giving them a means to save their lives, was also based on the loyalty of the people of the Imperial Divine Sect to the Emperor. In this battle, before the support of the Great Qin Empire arrived, the soldiers of the Emperor Divine Sect preferred to die in an unyielding battle, and paid huge casualties. Although due to the huge technological generation difference, they failed to kill any of the insect clans, but this loyalty to the Emperor is worthy of reward. Qin Sheng had never been a miserly person. On the contrary, he is very kind to those who have shown absolute loyalty to him. The strength of the carapace of a special creature of an ordinary jumping insect can match the armor of a 4th level peak civilization warship. Therefore, it was enough to give this branch of the Emperor Divine Sect 100 million mechanical insect clans to let them use as a bottom card to save their lives. And it can be seen that the true strength of the insect clan is not insignificant. In this battle, the silicon-based transformation bomb made a miraculous achievement. Episode 138, Kill into the Galaxy. Kill the world. Later, news of this battle in the galaxies at the edge of the Milky Way began to spread among the higher civilizations of the galaxy. Of course, it only spreads among the higher civilizations of the galaxy. As for the lower civilizations of the galaxy, they never knew that there would be extra civilizations invading the galaxy. The lower civilizations are still living their lives. From this point of view, the Parliament of the Galactic Civilization Destiny Community undoubtedly represents the justice of the galactic system. They will unite against foreign enemies to defend the galaxy. Qin Sheng, as the Emperor of the Great Qin Empire, is the co-leader of all the higher civilizations in the galaxy. At this critical moment, he naturally launched a galactic council for the first time. In the face of foreign enemies, the contradictions between the higher civilizations of the galaxy have also been covered up. Qin Sheng began to mobilize the fleets of all the 4th level civilizations to begin patrolling the entire edge of the galaxy, and let his Great Qin fleet and the other 4 fleets of the peak of the 4th level civilization stand by as the general support force. Once the patrol fleet of a certain civilization finds signs of invasion by foreign civilizations, then the Great Qin fleet will open a rapid jump channel, leading the fleets of other 4th level civilizations to arrive at the first time to provide support. Under such circumstances, the higher civilizations of the entire galaxy were united under the leadership of the Great Qin Empire. The diameter of the Milky Way is 100,000 light-years. But in fact, if the entire Milky Way is to calculate the diameter of the gravitational range, it is far more than 100,000 light-years. It's 1.9 million light-years. Hundreds of dependent galaxies, including the Greater Magellanic Galaxy, are covered by the Milky Way's gravitational pull. However, the core of the Milky Way, within 100,000 light-years in diameter, is a stellar disk, and more than 100 billion stars are all within 100,000 light-years in diameter. 100,000 light-years away, there is the gas disk. Most of the gas disk is nothing, and hundreds of subsidiary companion dwarf galaxies, such as the Great Magellanic Galaxy, are within this range. The commonly known Milky Way is a stellar disk with a diameter of 100,000 light-years, and then outward. It is also within the gravitational range of the Milky Way, but it is no longer counted as the inner multiple of the Milky Way. The entire Milky Way, viewed from the side, is a large disk with a slight bulge in the center. The circumference of this great disk, about 314,159 light-years ago, during the archaic period of the Milky Way, when a 6th level advanced civilization left the Milky Way, a spatial transition isolation zone with a circumference of 314,159 light-years was built for the Milky Way. This long spatial transition isolation belt is still working well until now. In order to protect the Milky Way, no extra civilization can jump directly from the outer layer to the interior of the galaxy in a way that can directly jump on the shoulders. Instead, at the edge of the Milky Way, it will be intercepted by space isolation, thus jumping to galaxies at the edge of the Milky Way. Thanks to this, Qin Sheng did not need to patrol throughout the galaxy, just patrol the space jump barrier with a circumference of 314,159 light-years. Qin Sheng mobilized all 360 fleets of 4th level civilizations and began to patrol back and forth on this long space leaping barrier. Patrol level 4 civilization total, 355. The total number of warships in the patrol fleet, 1,065 rank 4 ordinary battle stars, and 1,240 million battleships of each class. Number of main combat civilizations that can support at any time, 5. The Great Qin Empire, the Shilua military state, the Northern Galactic Weiyang, the Pioneer Workers, the Iron Curtain Starry Sky, and other 5 galactic 4th level peak civilizations. Among them, the military strength of the Great Qin Empire, 4 neutron battle stars, accounting for 12 million. Heroes military strength, 24th level peak star battle stars, and 22 million battleships. North Galaxy Weiyang, 12 4th level peak star battle stars, and 15 million battleships. Pioneering civilization, 12 4th level peak star battle stars, 18 million battleships searched. Iron Curtain, starry sky civilization, 12 4th level peak star battle stars, and 9 million warships. The total number of warships in the main combat fleet, 4 neutron battle stars, 56 4th level peak star battle stars, and about 76 million battleships of all levels. Under the integration of the Great Qin Empire, the higher civilizations of the entire galaxy gathered an incomparably large number of troops, ready to face the 2 quasi-5th level extra civilizations that were about to invade the galaxy. Beyond the Milky Way, the Zerg and Destroyer civilizations have converged. The Zerg Queen and the leader of the Destroyer civilization met. The leader of the Destroyer civilization, Sir Tatas, was originally an intelligent creature, but he was no longer the appearance of an ordinary creature, but had already ascended to become a terrible demon. All civilizations in the Great Magellanic Galaxy were caught in the war and 8/10 of them were destroyed. This credit was enough to arouse the favor and blessing of the evil gods, and the Siltas, who were originally ordinary creatures, were demonized, became a quasi-5th level terror demon. I lost contact with the advanced troops, and the native higher civilizations of the galaxy must have noticed it. How do we deal with it now? The queen of the Zerg clan looked at the horde demon who was 100 kilometers tall and had an incomparably large body. In comparison, the appearance of the Zerg queen is less than 3 meters tall. It can be seen that before becoming the queen of the Zerg tribe, she was a human open female upright species intelligent arm creature, similar to humans. How do we respond? The Siltas' bull-nosed nose snapped, and a vast and huge voice sounded. No countermeasures. Let's just kill it like this. Only kill. In order to please my God, cranial self-dedication, I will use the heads of all the intelligent beings in the galaxy to forge a new skull throne for myself. In the current galaxy, there is no 5th level civilization in the mainland. All the 5th level civilizations have long since left the galaxy. Under such circumstances, there is simply no civilization in the galaxy that can stop our army from killing. So, the huge soaring horn erected on the head of the Siltas shook his head as he spoke excitedly. Huge, as if the eyes of a blood-colored moon shimmered with a scarlet bloodthirsty glow. Let's just kill it. Kill him for a world of upheaval. Episode 139. From the Chaos Evil God's Treacherous Calculations. Great Qin was destined to be destroyed by me. Listening to the simple and rude words of Sir Tatas, the Zerg Queen frowned. Although the Zerg clan has always been a simple and rude way to do things, but compared to the fearful believers, the insect clan can also be regarded as having a head and a brain. Sadistic believers, they never pay attention to any plan. What a strategy. Wearing power armor, grabbing the power sword, is to go up and slash. The power armor on the body also has spikes that penetrate this kind of skull as a decoration. It's simple and brutal. The Zerg Queen always felt that she should not be able to do anything good by acting with this Sears Tita division, and it was clear that Siltas had no intention of taking the initiative to act with her. Chaos fear believers can be said to care about nothing. They only care about killing. As long as it can be killed. Who are you? Maybe one moment it was friendly, the next moment you were in his way, or he didn't kill enough. Even the friendly troops killed together, and between the 4 gods of chaos, he will fight each other. The Zerg Queen said, since that's the case, let's attack separately. We're not going all the way with you. As soon as the Zerg Queen waved her hand, a virtual aerial view of the Milky Way appeared. The Queen pointed to the top view of the galaxy, just wanted to say the 2 people's action route. Took the Silteta division is a big hand, the majestic voice coldly shouted. No need for any action route. Let's go first, kill all the way, and then, you just need to follow us and pick up the bodies of the rest of the people I rode the door to kill. Don't you worms need nutrients? Just so. As long as we cut off the head, the corpse will be given to you, let you pick it up and eat it. This incomparably contemptuous remark of Silta's stunned the Zerg Queen, and then a wave of anger surged out. Stupid stuff. Are the guys who believe in abuse so brainless? No, you don't. The Queen of the Zerg clan immediately refused. The nutrients that we Zerg clan need, we take it ourselves. But you believe in the abuse, don't you need a head? Then we can leave some heads and skulls uneaten and leave them for you. When Siltitas heard this, he immediately roared, you damn ant. What did you say? The Queen of the Bug clan also snorted coldly without showing weakness, and a cosmic space around it, hundreds of thousands of leviathans, trillions of clan jumping worms, etc., were gathered around. Countless vicious insect tribes opened their teeth and claws, emitting special biological radio waves, to roar in demonstration. Millions of destroyer warships also switched their weapons, and above the deck of the battleship, countless flesh and blood alienated chaos warriors climbed up, wielding power swords, looking vicious and bloodthirsty. Seeing that the 2 of them themselves want Nejiang, Talos, the treacherous demon who had been paying attention to this in the subspace, hurriedly got off the field and began to play round. Of course, he has always been disguised as a terrorist. Tataros knew that they had to launch an attack on the galaxy, or the 2 of them would fight on their own. My God has given a new order, and a blood sacrifice is needed. Blood sacrifice of the head of a humanoid intelligent creature. Launch an attack on the galaxy now. Hearing this, Siltas glared at the Zerg Queen with those huge blood-red eyes, followed by a wave of his hand, and a flash of red light flashed. The built-in jump engine system creates gravitational warp points. A transition passage to the Milky Way appears. With a cold snort, the huge body of 100 kilometers was the first to enter the transition channel. The Great Demon was the first to leave, and the millions of remaining destroyer warships also carried the Chaos Warriors who had returned to the interior of the battleship into the transition passage. Head to the galaxy and set off a massacre that will please the horrors. The Zerg Queen looked at it coldly, and then led her Zerg Leviathan fleet to the other direction of the galaxy and jumped away. In the subspace, Tatalos, who was watching here, finally breathed a sigh of relief. These damn, brainless, abusive, almost ruined my big plan if you're not careful. Although the Zerg and the destroyer are not compatible now, they are divided into two directions to attack the galaxy, which is also in line with my wishes. In the face of two quasi-fifth level civilizations outside the galaxy, attacking from two directions, Emperor Great Qin, even if you integrate the higher civilizations of the galaxy, what about it? The Great Qin Empire is destined to be destroyed by me, and now there's more to the Milky Way. Tataros thought to himself, the pool in the subspace, the huge bird pecking wide, seemed to be emitting a wanton-tide laugh. The colorful feathers draped over the body shimmered phosphorescently. 2.54 million light-years away from the galactic system's main stellar disk, the Andromeda Galaxy. The Andromeda Galaxy, 220,000 light-years in diameter, with more than 1 trillion stars at the edge of the Andromeda Galaxy, flashed with subspace storms, and a huge fleet of about 100,000 people appeared in this space. At the same time as this huge fleet appeared, a trace of impossibility seemed to flash by. His consciousness is similar to that of the treacherous demon Tartaros, but it is more than 100 million times stronger than Tatalos. If Tatalos' consciousness was here, then she would have recognized it and exclaimed, "My god Oracle." This consciousness belongs to the most powerful demon under the chaos evil god treacherous Chima. With the titles of the treacherous Oracle, the Weaver of Destiny, the Destiny Trickster, the Guardian of Destiny, and so on, the first demon under the treacherous odd seat, Carlos. It seems that Carlos influenced the trajectory of this unknown fleet, bringing it to the edge of the Andromeda Galaxy. And this unknown fleet seems to be very confused. Why did it come here? A special exchange of communications was transmitted between fleets. What's going on? The space passage of the star system transition was affected by an unknown subspace storm. So where are we? Does this still belong to the Great Wall system of the Northern Corona Galaxy in the constellation of Wuxian constellation? No, based on coordinate data, we're in the Raniakia supercluster, 10 billion light-years away. The Raniakia supercluster, with a total diameter of 520 million light-years. Damn, we're getting ready for the mission of ambushing the carbon-based Alliance offensive fleet. How could this damn storm have swept us so far? It can be learned from the language that this fleet belongs to the largest known galactic Great Wall structure in the universe 12 billion light-years away, the Great Wall system of the Northern Corona Galaxies in the constellation of Wuxian constellation. It is a fleet towel belonging to a civilization belonging to the Silicon Alliance, but their specific level of civilization is unknown. But to be sure, they have clearly mastered the technology of star system transitions. The civilization level is definitely above level 5. Episode 140, Jump Gang. Jump Gang. All tactical jump gangs. Coming to the Milky Way's neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy's fleet of silicon-based alliances is not to be mentioned. They do not affect the Milky Way galaxy for the time being. At this moment, the first to set out, the great demon Seer Titus, had led the fleet of the destroyer civilization to the edge of the galaxy. He was forced to stop at the edge of the galaxy. Damn, there's a jump zone on the periphery of this river system. I can't go directly to the interior of this river system. Siltus's massive body was suspended in space, and he was even angrier when he was in a bad mood. After the great demon whose body was 100 kilometers high, the jump passage opened, and one destroyer battleship after another came here. Kill. Only killing can quell my anger. Only by killing can we please my god. Just as this abusive demon appeared in the galaxy at the edge of the Milky Way, the spatial fluctuations that jumped up were detected by unmanned detectors scattered throughout the galaxy. The first was to transmit faster-than-light Tachelon communications to the nearest patrol fleet. 17 light-years away, a patrol fleet belonging to the Norton civilization immediately received the signal. The Norton civilization is the leader of the Norton Bounty Hunter organization. As mentioned earlier, the Norton Bounty Hunters organization is an organization dedicated to hunting down the forces of chaos, consisting of a 4th-level Norton civilization and several 3rd-level civilizations. The 3rd-level Barbarian Elephant civilization that Qin Sheng left the Mufus galaxy and was rescued in the transition passage into the Hub galaxy was organized by Norton Bounty Hunters. Admiral, in a galaxy 17 light-years away from us, a probe has sent a signal of space transition fluctuations, and the chaos mark breath comes. Which evil god's power belongs? Are there any signs of insects besides the chaos marker breath? It is the evil god who is afraid of his subordinates, and there seems to be no sign of the insect clan. Admiral Norton heard this and pondered. Breath of chaos. Conceived along this line of thought, It seems to fit the description of the destroyer civilization, one of the two extra-alien civilizations that are about to invade the galaxy. Everywhere they went, there was only the civilization of the destroyers who killed, and there was no doubt that they believed in evil gods and feared abuse. He said, immediately go to that galaxy, and at the same time summon the other patrol fleets and the Great Qin Empire to let them support as soon as possible. We must first hold back this chaotic force. The Norton civilization hated the forces of chaos immensely. At the beginning, when the Norton civilization had not yet developed, there was a period of low. During this period of lows, degeneration and corruption arose within civilization. The people at the bottom are sick and miserable. It was the people at the bottom who began to pray to God in despair. Pray to God because of sickness. Thus the blessing of the evil god Nashi was brought in. Among the four gods, the evil god Nashi is called the loving father. Why? Evil gods and treacherous people favor those who crave knowledge and gain strength. The evil god fears that he favors powerful warriors who can bring him the pleasure of killing. Evil spirits like people who pursue extreme desires, and only the loving father embraces dirt and loves everything in the universe and the world. No matter where you are in the universe, no matter what identity you are, as long as you sincerely pray to the Father will respond to you and bless you, but also because the Father is too loving, and when the blessing is given to you, even the germs in your body will be blessed. This also leads to the fact that those who are blessed by the loving Father will receive many positive qualities such as immortality and instant healing, but it will also be blessed equally by a loving Father because of its own illness shortcomings, thus more disease-ridden. Everyone who has been blessed by the Father can attain an almost immortal life, immune to pain and perception. At the same time, the appearance is full of abscesses, the skin will dissolve after a little contact, and the body of the believer is puffy due to various unimaginable viruses. The original Norton civilization experienced a plague brought about by the chaos god Nashi. As a result, 9/10 of the civilized population was wiped out. Almost exterminated. Finally, with the help of a certain higher civilization, it was finally calmed down. The Norton civilization that had experienced these things no longer fell, but was reborn from the ashes and progressed to a fourth-level civilization. Because of this, the Norton civilization hates the chaos god the most. Whenever news of chaos haunting, the Norton civilization always fights at the edge of the galaxy at the forefront, the unnamed galaxy numbered BY 12754-36514, open through the transition channel of the star. The Norton civilization gathered the nearest patrol fleet around them, and about 300,000 warships burst out of the interior of the transition passage in the form of streamers. First, it was the first time to discover the battleship of the destroyer civilization and the huge demonic demon. A cursory sweep estimated that the warships of the destroyer civilization were no less than 5 million belly. Admiral, the enemy's strength is more than 10 times ours, so what? Attack. Destroying all chaotic forces is the main purpose of the survival of our Norton civilization. Moreover, we also have reinforcements, just delay them and don't let them leave for somewhere else. Attack. Without the slightest hesitation, about 300,000 Norton warships launched an attack on the destroyer civilization, which was more than 10 times their size. Huh. When it's really sleepy, come to the pillow. Kill them all. Siltas laughed loudly, and the huge wings with a wingspan of up to 400 kilometers behind him waved, and with a wave of his hand, he gave the order, kill. Kill, kill, kill. The destroyer fleet, carrying countless excited chaos warriors, also launched an attack on the Norton civilization's fleet. Jump gang. Jump gang, fight. Kill their battleship. The distance between the two sides was still hundreds of millions of kilometers, but the chaos warriors within the fleet had already roared uncontrollably. The destroyer fleet spearheaded the firing of a large number of faster-than-light torpedoes. The signs of these faster-than-light torpedoes were so obvious that the Norton fleet detected them and immediately turned on the array of near-defense spears. Start blocking. In an instant, the entire dark and silent space flashed with countless lights. The faster-than-light torpedoes traveled through a dense array of proximity defense lesotron spears. Most were intercepted head-on by the proximal anti-lesotron light spear, but there were still quite a few faster-than-light torpedoes that hit the Norton civilization's warships. Strangely enough, however, these faster-than-light torpedoes were about to hit the Norton civilization warships when they suddenly began to slow down. Exit the faster-than-light state and go to subliminal speed. The torpedo carries a special force field, directly breaking through the battleship's space distortion force field shield. Subsequently, the heads of these torpedoes began to glow. It's a proton decomposition device. A torpedo plunged headlong into the armor of a Norton warship with a proton decomposition device on its head, directly into the interior of the battleship. However, the 100-meter-long torpedo did not explode. Instead, a hatch was opened. Come in. Jump gang kill. Kill. Ha 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 ha. Countless chaos warriors wielding proton decomposition force field power blades, power warhammers, demon power axes, and other melee killing weapons rushed out of the torpedoes. This is a faster-than-light torpedo that the destroyers use specifically for long-range jump gang combat. Inside the torpedo is not a dedicated antimatter blaster, but a chaos warrior.